Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Darrell Addison. I'm the founder, the owner, CEO of a planting system, a growing system called Torpedopot. These Torpedopots that grow your food with no human intervention. They look dead right now, but in a couple of minutes, I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to clean these planters up. You're going to see how well they look, and you're going to say, Darrell, this is a miracle. Absolutely. It looks terrible now, doesn't it? Oh, leaves flying all over the place, looks bad. Torpedopot, all you do is walk up to the Torpedopot, you drop your seed in, you drop your plants in, you turn it on and you walk away. Now, I'm going to pull back a lot of this dead that's on this plant right now. You have a lot of leaves from this mint. This is mint. This mint has been growing now for about 2 years. Normally we have mint for about 5 years. You can grow indefinitely. Once you establish a mint plant, and you replant it or you just let it go into the torpedo pot, it'll come back over and over and over again. What's good thing about having this mint in the torpedo pot is that, you know, you put mint in the ground, it takes over everything. It's hard to get rid of it once it starts to grow. But in the torpedo pot, you get to contain it and you get to contain its growth and direct its growth in any direction that you want. It doesn't care if it's apple mint, spearmint, peppermint, banana mint, orange mint. We tried them all in the torpedo pot and they love the torpedo pot. This spearmint, this is peppermint. This peppermint has been doing extremely well. So what I'm going to do now, I've got to clean this planter off. I don't have to buy any more mint ever again. All I do is clean these off, add more soil on top of the mint, depending upon how much it's eaten up. It's a really aggressive plant. And then we'll go from there. So let's start cutting this down. We're going to start pulling out some of these leaves and some of this dead that's on the plant right now. Let's give it a go. So these are torpedo pots that grow your food with no human intervention. I like coming out and picking my mint. So I use it for my digestive purposes. If I need something to eat, so I just go back with my pliers and I just cut it down. My pruning shears and I cut it down. I want to give it a nice fresh start. Okay, we're almost there. Now, all this debris out of here. Just brush it off. Now we can see all of that growth that had died because of the winter time. We have new growth coming back. So those who have mint and use a torpedo pot, you literally can grow for the rest of your life. As far as we know, as far as our numbers and statistics have grown, you can grow for the rest of your life. So in other words, you can have a supply of natural medicine. Remember now, mint is in everything. Toothpaste, food, antiseptics is in almost anything. Perfumes, mint is in everything. So for you to have it for respiratory purposes and so many other needs, it can literally change your life. My mint, when it grows, and its soil is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, the soil is so beautiful. It's an aggressive plant, but it comes back faithfully. So I don't necessarily have to ever buy mint again in my life. It runs all by itself. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna clean up the rest of these planters, get them all cleaned up for you. Because my mint's about to take off. Not only that, because I want some to put inside of my soups and my teas right now. That's what I want to do. Let's see if we can pull a plant out and show you how aggressive this plant is. It's so aggressive. Look at this stuff. So once you get this root started, you can give this to someone else and they can actually kick off the whole mint season. Literally, you can sell these particular plants right here and you just sell them to people and they can actually kick the garden off immediately. They don't have to get any seeds, don't have to do anything else. Once it's going for good. I'm going to put this back in here. Not that I need it or anything because there's so much in here. I was thinking about doing another pot. I normally have big pots, but what I normally do is just let this grow, it comes back, and we'll do it from there. Take this off and cut it down. I love mint because it cleans out my passages, my respiratory passages. If I need something and I can't breathe, I have mint right outside that I can just come out and get it. And Torpedopot grows it so well. I mean, I don't know of any other system that will allow you to grow so much food in such small space and do it so effectively. We've been growing mint now for the last 5 years. So really, I'm just cleaning this out right now. And you give it about a week or so, this stuff is going to be taken off again. And I love it. Mint is so aggressive. I normally don't have to fertilize mint because it's all naturally, it grows so wild, so free. And it just literally takes over an area. And the metabolism that it is built up from that, all of that sunlight, causes it to grow in ways that you and I have never seen before. Very aggressive plant. And let's do the next planter here. So, this out. I love it. What's so good about the Torpedopot is that for those who are putting your seeds in the ground, if you have plants that will come back the next year and you're in a great season, you never have to buy food again in your life, depending on what you're growing. This is one of the eggplants that we're growing inside of the mint planter, and you can see it looks so good. Matter of fact, it looks so good, it looks like it's starting to bud again. I can leave it in there, but I choose not to. I want to just do my mint this year, see if I'm going. Sorry, Mr. Eggplant. Okay, so yeah, all of this is growing back, it's coming back. The leaves and everything, you see me taking out the pot. I don't need to take them out. I can leave them in there with Torpedopot because really it's food for the next growing season. But however, the reason why I want to do it for aesthetic purposes, because if I leave them in there, you guys will be like, oh, Daryl, man, the pots look absolutely horrible. But now that you understand what's going on, it's not a problem at all. So right now, I just cleaned these pots down. Get these gloves off for a minute here. Look at this. My mint. Daryl Addison, these pots have been growing food in them for the last 3 years. 2 years for the mint. And I thought about putting some flowers in here, but I don't have to because my mint constantly grows back. And it's a waste for me to just, I can't throw this mint away. I just simply can't. I got so much of it. What I would do is divide it into sections and just give it away to someone who wants it. All they do is take it and stick it in their planter, and Torpedopot will grow it for you. So if I get this little stem with a little, I showed you a little piece of mint we pulled out here. All we have to do is give this to you, put it in your planter, and you'll start growing your mint. Now, I love mint. This is spearmint, I think, right? So, oh, I'm sorry, it's peppermint. So I've already picked this mint. The Torpedopot has grown this mint. It's been sitting here for about, in these planters for about 2 years, and it's starting to bud and take off again this year. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Darren Addison, Torpedopot.com. Darren Addison, Torpedopot.com, where we make self-growing planters that grows your food for you. The mint has been growing in this planter now for 3 years. And let me tell you something, it's still going strong. I never have to replace my mint. I never have to go out and shop for mint ever again in my life. Why? Because it's always here. Like I said, all I have to do is pull the parts out of it, put it in another planter, and I'm good to go. I want you to look at your plants from a sustainability perspective. Look to grow plants that will provide sustainability for you for years to come. I know there's seasonal plants where you have tomatoes and onions, everything's based upon your season. But I want you to look at the fruit availability, whether it be above the ground or below the ground, in your area for growing your plants, so that you don't have to constantly go out and turn the soil and turn the soil over either outside or pit plants in your torpedo pot. Look at things that are sustainable, that they will come back over and over and over again. And that's why I love this mint, because it comes back all the time. It's one of my great plants. I love it. And I'm going to continue to eat this. I got to make some tea. I'm going to have a lot of mint. Darryl Addison, Torpedopot.com, Darryl Addison, Torpedopot.com. The soil in the planter is still very much, oh my God, it's so fertile, guys. It's so beautiful. But I want to show you because look how deep this root system is for this mint. Look at that, I can barely pull it out of there. That's how tough it is. So once you establish mint into your self-growing planter, your torpedo pot, and it's established and it's growing, it's going to be there for a very, very long time. So what you do, you have your feeding stick, you nose around the feeding stick, you turn it on, you see it water, you know the feeding stick is working. But you don't need to pull it out. Estimate where your feeding stick is. If you got to cut a piece out and pull it out, slowly do it. But you're going to have so much of it to pull out. And it's just right now, it's literally entrenched in this pot. No matter when I pull out, man, it's entrenched in this pot. Well, I can put this anywhere. Actually, tell you if I can put it inside my stone pebbles in the ground here, because it was grown in a torpedo pot. They'll take off and start growing again. Darryl Addison, Torpedopot.com, where we make self-growing planters that grow your food year after year after year. You don't have to replace your plants every year. Torpedo Pot grows your plants for you. You don't have to go in and turn the soil over, plant new seeds, and buy new plants. For some species of plants, you'll be able to grow them forever. I mean, for your lifetime. So you'll never have to buy plants again in your life. That's where I want you to be. I want you to be in a sustainability position where that you will never have to buy another plant. I want your total garden to be sustainable. This will eliminate your bill, your food bill, your grocery bill automatically. Torpedo Pot is the only growing system in the world that will get you there. There is no other growing system. That in the same planet, you can grow mint, you can grow grass, you can put trees, whatever you want to put it. As long as it's a sustainable biotic environment. You see this environment in this plant? This environment is completely sustainable. Look at the soil that's coming out of it. The soil is absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful soil. It's nice and rich. It's dark. It's beautiful. And so this environment is totally sustainable. And so not only for existing plants, for whatever plants you put in there in the future. As a matter of fact, this is growing mint. What I normally do is sometimes put little seeds inside of in the crevices of the mint and let it grow also. You can have multiple plants growing at the same time. The problem is that mint is so evasive and it takes over, it will crowd out the sunlight of whatever I put inside of there. But Torpedo Pot will allow you to configure your planter any way you want to. With Torpedo Pot, you can literally grow anything and everything. Multiple plants. You can have plants growing from the side, plants growing from the fruit down below in the root system, plants coming out at the top. You choose what you want to do. In this 16-inch planter, we once had celery that grew up 2.5 feet tall. We had nasturtium that ran out 10 feet. And below the system, we also had tomatoes that were coming out about 20 feet inside of the planter itself. And then at the bottom of the planter, we have potatoes. So we have multiple plants growing at the same time. Potatoes came up and still crowded it out, but yeah, multiple plants growing at the same time. With the tomatoes going out, the celery going out, potatoes coming out. We had a lot of stuff. Nasturtium rolling out also. So we had a great time in that Torpedo Pot. So one Torpedo Pot gives you the creativity to do a lot of things. Darryl Addison, Torpedopot.com. Darryl Addison, Torpedopot.com, where we make self-growing planters that grows and waters your food for you. And it's amazing. From this right here, oh my God, I never calculated the amount of pounds of mint that I would get from this. But from this, as you saw, those mint plants were about, I'm gonna say about this high. And so I had it for each one of these planters. I don't really store it, but you know what? Going into the end of the season, I think I missed it during my winter time. I didn't have it. I didn't buy it. I didn't want to buy it because I like natural organic food. And Torpedo Pot grows natural organic food. This mint has been growing this planter now for about, like I said, 2.5 to 3 years. And we've had it for 3 years on the property. So try Torpedo Pot, it'll get you there. And stop buying stuff over and over and over again. The average homeowner spends at least $400 a year on buying supplies for their growing season. You don't need to do that. Torpedo Pot, you put your seed in, you put your plants in, you set the planter with a little knob on the front, You walk away, you forget about it. And for mint, you really don't need to fertilize at all. So when I say you walk away and forget it, only thing you need to do is look at your mint and say, hey, listen, I need to add a little bit more water to it, because it's now become so big and so invasive. Darrell Addison, Torpedopot.com. Darrell Addison, Torpedopot.com. Talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.